What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 123 of the Elden Ring podcast. It didn't work. No,
I'm in the wrong place. Shit, I gotta leave.
You gotta leave. You're not in the crew yet. You're not in the crew. No, welcome.
All right. Well, see you guys later.
It's just me. Welcome to the Unknown Games podcast. You know, where we talk about all the hottest games. I had to put that in there, and the newest video game releases. It's like we're trying to sell you games now, but we're not. We're just trying to sell you our friendship and our companionship.
There's like a difference. When are you ever like friends but not companions?
That's a good question.
Funny.
When are you ever one or the other? But one of my best friends in the world, my co-host Alex. What's up?
Nothing. I just had dinner.
Nice. Did you have anything good? Interesting, tasty?
I don't know. That's subjective, really, honestly.
What did you have for dinner? There we go.
I ordered a kebab from Uber Eats.
Oh no! Which place did you go? Wait, there's like two kebab places.
There's two places that you're thinking of. I went to, I don't know, the one that shows up on the second, like this. It's the one that shows up second if you look up kebab for your area. But yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine, honestly. It was good, actually. The portions were a little bit smaller than what I was expecting, but overall, pretty good. My thing was that I was kind of hungry, and I was like, okay, this isn't enough to fill me up. So despite the fact that I had good food,
yeah,
I ruined my dinner just by eating a bunch of shit afterwards. So
oh, I know the feeling.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, so what I have in my freezer is I have a bunch of just frozen karage.
Oh, okay.
So I just ate a bunch of frozen karage, like way too much, and now I felt bad, and then I made myself feel worse by eating ice cream. And then I made myself feel even worse by making myself hot chocolate.
It's like you're doing like depressants. Like, some drugs are depressants or alcohol's a depressant. It's like that's what you're doing for food. Like fried chicken, you eat too much of it, it's going to bring you down.
Yeah, it was like, it's like really greasy, like super greasy. And I was eating like all of it. I'm like, hey, that was dumb. I'm like, I'm going to have ice cream. I'm like, I don't feel good. Anyways. So yeah, that was dinner.
Yeah. Anyways, that was dinner. I mean, I had I've been using this air fryer because last week I kind of messed up. I had 3 cheat days, not one. I had like 3. So I don't know if that's called cheating.
Half week, yeah.
Dude, Sunday I didn't eat properly because I was playing too much Elden Ring, and I got really hungry and I ordered a Domino's pizza. I just ordered a margarita pizza, whatever.
Just ate the whole thing.
I ate the whole thing in one sitting, and I was like, "What is wrong with me?" The day before, I had some fried chicken. You could see the grease.
Oh,
it was good. But I know how you feel. Today I had fish and rice. There we go.
Also, just a little bit better than
I had a little bit better. I tried to eat a little bit better. But yeah, we if you're listening right now on, of course, the normal methods of Google or iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, any of those wonderful audio listening spots, go ahead, feel free to leave us a review, 3 stars to 5 stars. We don't take anything less. Say what you want, but make sure at least it says we love Unknown Games Podcast or I love Unknown Games Podcast. Make it sound nice.
But don't make it seem too fake, otherwise they'll think we're like paying
you. Yeah, we don't have the money to pay you, but don't make people think that we're paying you, because we're not. And of course, finally, if you're looking at us right now live on YouTube, or if you want to come join us on YouTube live, we record every Monday night here in Japan around 9:00 p.m. That's kind of early for if you're in the West. But go ahead, leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. We're almost to 100. 4 away. We gained 1 since the last week.
Sweet. Thank you, person.
We thank you. We also thank Street Fighter 5. No, wait, 6. Well, both of them. Without one, there couldn't be the other.
Well, I mean, you gotta skip numbers, right? Is there a game that ever skipped numbers? I guess Final Fantasy in the West, where it's like FF3 and then FF7. We're like, wait, what the fuck? Yeah.
My friend actually recently started playing FF7 Remake. They've never played FF FF7 at all, and they were like,
Yeah,
I
I
never.
know someone exactly. One of my other friends was just like, yeah, I've never played FF7, but I'm gonna play a remake, and I'm like, I guess you could do that.
Yeah,
That's
you can do that.
fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
But they're
yeah,
really enjoying it. They're surprisingly enjoying the pacing, the combat. They like the characters. And I'm like, yo, that's what's up. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. And it's, I mean, they're still, I guess, maybe halfway through it. So that's one of those things. Uh,
yeah.
but yeah. And finally, last but not least, be sure to follow myself and Alex on Twitch. I'm at NinjaTrix, NinjaTrix. And you can follow my co-host Alex at Root24. That's the number 24, like in numerals. There we go.
Right, or just the singular number 24. Well, either works, I guess. Yeah,
What,
number
what,
2 and then number 4, or number 24.
or the number 24. What are you
They
streaming? What do you stream? Did you stream Final Fantasy 6, the Pixel Remaster?
I did stream FF6. I streamed the first 2 hours of it, which is basically nothing. Because I mean, if you played FF6 before, you just like the opening sequence. You wake up in Narsh, you go to Figaro, and you escape to the cave, and you go to South Figaro, and that's pretty much it. That's all I did. That's
Right,
FF6.
it's not bad. Not bad at all. That's FF6.
Yeah,
I mean, are you gonna? So you're gonna play this until Strangers of Paradise?
I might just play it off stream. I might just play this for myself.
Okay.
But I'll be yeah. Usually on the stream we stream like or on Twitch we stream like JRPGs or random stuff. So alongside like when I picked up FF6 last week, I also added to the cart Chrono Cross because I'm gonna buy it anyways. I might as well just pre-order it.
Oh, that's right. You can pre-order it now. Sweet.
Yeah, and then I also got a game called Vampire Survivors, which is only $3.
Oh
and
gosh,
it's
that
like,
game. It's I've seen someone play it, and it was
Yeah.
addicting. It's addicting to watch.
So I bought it. It's only $3. I might stream that tomorrow. We'll see. If I don't, probably will actually. And then we'll just whatever until Stranger Paradise comes out. Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. I know we were talking earlier, but there's a lot of games coming out. I've been playing. I finished up Horizon.
Right.
Minus the DLC, I'm probably going to do that off stream. I really enjoyed the game. Beautiful story, really. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I enjoyed about that game, the combat and how you can kind of approach situations. Interesting characters, and honestly, I would love to go into Forbidden West once it hits PC. I cannot do it on PS4, even though I heard it runs fine, actually. Well, I heard there's some issues with PS4 with maybe textures or some AI or whatever, but still runs relatively fine. But yeah, after that, hopped into today's topic. We've got a couple things that we're going to be talking about. Elden Ring. Well, we've all got Pokemon. Well, we also have Pokemon Day news.
Right.
I was like, we have Pokemon.
Yeah,
Yes.
we have Pokemon.
We have
yeah.
Pokemon, period.
Yeah.
Wonderful. We've also got some Persona news and NieR Automata news. We've got a lot of other news as well. So we're going to go ahead, hop into it with the Elden Ring, probably the biggest release of this year or of this. Not, I don't want to say
Maybe the
decade.
quarter. The quarter, right?
How big? So we both have been following this game, and we went from being like, hey, this game is kind of cool. We don't know what to expect about it, and then it's like, okay, we're kind of hyped, but I don't know. Did you have like a lukewarm kind of period on it, or were you just gung ho like, this game's gonna be awesome?
I was always lukewarm on it. I'm still like lukewarm on it.
right, and that's
Yeah.
kind of how I was. Part of me part of the reason I really wanted to get it was I've never played a Souls game.
Well, you played Bloodborne though, yeah?
Yeah, I finished Bloodborne and also a good chunk of Sekiro, and I've played a good bunch of Nioh. But it's like I've never played one of these games on launch where all the online systems are kind of like at the peak, like in terms of people leaving notes on the ground and really having that community experience, and that's really factored in for me. But this, it's got a high pedigree of things with George R.R. Martin doing some of the stuff for it with the story, and then it's a Souls game, so it's big in of that right. So I ended up playing way too much of it. It was good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's good. I'm sure it's a great game. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm just like,
is it 10 out of 10 great? I mean, of course they're gonna.
Apparently, to some people it is. Yeah.
Apparently, I mean, obviously they're not going to tell you what. And I was talking to a friend about this, and of course, marketing is not going to put on these thumbnails where it's like Elden Ring 10 10 10 10 10 10, those things that you see.
Yeah.
They're not going to put like reviewed on PlayStation, reviewed on PC, because here's I mean, if anyone's grabbing this on the PC, be warned. It's not drastic, but I know you had brought it up a little earlier to me. Like, how's the frame rate on this game? Like,
Yeah, no, I heard the frame rate. This only affects PC actually, but for some reason, when you're moving areas, your frame rate gets like hit heavily. Like you can drop down like 30, 40 frames per second,
yeah.
which is uh in and itself that's playable. If it was perpetually locked at 30, right? Because a lot of games, even like for example, Bloodborne is locked at 30, right?
Uh huh. Uh huh.
It was perpetually 30. That's a playable frame rate. But what makes it bad on like if you're playing on PC is like chances are you're actually probably playing at 60 frames per second or higher, right?
Right. Right.
And once you hitch, that's the problem really is frame rate hitching. So once you hitch down to a lower frame rate, it stutters and it feels like you're kind of like tripping over something.
Exactly.
Right, and like everything slows down, and it's so jarring, and it's really irritating. If it happens frequently, then it's a bit of a like a I
It
don't know,
can.
like it's just really annoying, right? Yeah,
It's really annoying, and it's most like you can see it 100% in the first boss, the first kind of a boss, and it's at the very beginning of the game. It's like when you walk out the door, homeboy is literally just sitting there. Um, I'm gonna see if I can pull it up really and kind of show you on stream. You'll see it's just in this one area too.
hmm
Like it's really strange. It's not like if you move him to another area, maybe like I don't know, a
Oh,
hundred
that is
yards
bad. Is
away,
that is bad, isn't
like
it?
a
Yeah,
100 yards away, he moves
yeah,
fine. But at one point in this area, it happens when there's a lot of trees sometimes for
yeah.
random reasons, and then while there are like rain when the rain is falling sometimes. It's kind of strange and it doesn't make sense and it doesn't happen on all the bosses. It's just some areas, some things are affected. So that's something to kind of go in. You can fix the screen tearing. I had to fix that. That was
You have to turn
actually
off VSync or something, I think, right?
yeah, because it,
Yeah.
it, it was actually very bad and there's no option to do anything, fix that in the game. So I was just like, okay, you know what? It's still playable. It's actually still a lot of fun.
It's still
Um,
fun, yeah. Same
yeah,
problem. You can see this with a lot of video games as well. Like, yeah, I mean, a game can perform poorly, but can still be fun, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I think I felt this way after playing. Probably I'm about 14 hours in playing, and I put up a tweet and I said like, what I really enjoyed. I spent the whole weekend on Elden Ring, but what I really enjoyed was when I got stuck. Like this boss is the first boss in the game. It's a mini boss. I'm level like 20 something, and I skipped him because I chose the bandit class. My dagger couldn't even reach him, right? And
Uh-huh.
and so I said, you know what? I'm just gonna go and explore. I'm just gonna go find. And I found other bosses, mini bosses. I fought those, got skills, and had a lot of fun. And then 2 nights later, decided to come back to this guy, and
He's like
eventually
really easy now. Yeah.
I don't know if it was really easy, but I eventually defeated him. But it was the fact that I could take a break if it was too hard, go out somewhere into the open world, explore, and maybe find another challenge, take that
hmm
on, and then come
Yeah.
back. And I think that's more than likely if anyone else is enjoying the game but is not a fan of Souls games. That's it. Like that is it. Then maybe that's why you are hooked because you're no longer. It's not linear, but
Yeah,
you
you
can
can
tackle it.
be like, okay, this sucks, but you're not stuck on this boss, right? You
Yeah,
can
yeah,
do something else in the meantime. I think that's also partially why some people get discouraged by Souls games because you to progress, you like have to beat this boss, and if you're stuck on that boss, you're like, well, I'm stuck on
you're
the game
you're
basically,
you're,
right?
you're stuck on the game.
Yeah.
That happened to me on Bloodborne, and I've told this story to everyone on stream or anyone I meet. I got stuck on Bloodborne for 4 years on the first boss. Well, 3 years technically.
But you weren't playing for 4 years. You were
I
playing
wasn't
on
I
and off
wasn't playing. I
Yeah,
was
I can
playing. Yeah,
imagine like
yeah.
every day you turn on your
Every day.
PS4 and you're like, not today.
Nope, not today.
Holy
But yeah,
shit, man.
I tried every year and in certain points, and I was like, I really want to play this game, and it just didn't click with me. And I ended up playing. I played Sekiro, and I don't know what it was about Sekiro, but it made something about Bloodborne click for me.
hmm
And I went back, finally finished. The first boss, got past it, and played Bloodborne and loved it. It's one of my favorite games, period. And it really does help set me into this game. So like, if you are not a Souls fan, don't expect for this game to make you a Souls fan. Like,
Right. Okay.
or don't expect to love it. It's not going to change anything else because it really is just a Souls game. So if you don't like
Right.
those mechanics, that's not going to change it for you. But if you think that the open world part will kind of help you a little bit, and you're willing to take some of the challenges on, um, I think you might just find what a lot of people have liked about those games, and continue playing it.
Right.
I think. I think. Um, I mean, like, has there been anything about this game that has interested you after seeing it a little bit? I mean,
I
everyone's been
guess just
streaming it this weekend.
I guess just the open world nature of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Because part of the reason why I enjoy some games is just like exploring. You like open your map, you're like, oh, what's over here? Oh, what's over here?
Mm-hmm,
Right.
mm-hmm.
And like finding stuff, like finding quests, finding NPCs, finding bosses. Like that can be addicting.
Yeah,
So I mean, the fact that this is not linear in the sense that kind of you're committed to like this path or something like that. You have to do these bosses in this order. Um, I think that's cool. I can definitely see myself like sinking hours into just like fucking around. And as you like explore, you're also leveling up, right? So,
right, right, right. You're also
in
leveling.
yeah, in a sense, like you can kind of take the game at your own pace. Like if a boss is like a little too hard, you can just explore for 4 days, come back and beat the boss. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's that's
In that,
honestly it.
yeah. So there'd be two ways really to beat a boss encounter. Is like one to learn the boss patterns, which is how you would typically take on a Souls boss,
Mm-hmm.
or you could just grind it out, I
just
guess.
just
Yeah,
grind it out, get a bunch of
yeah,
strength and endurance, and then just
yeah,
run over the boss a little bit. They'll take those
yeah,
hits. Take them.
yeah,
They won't kill you then.
yeah. I mean, they'll still kill you, but you
They
can
will.
afford to take more hits than you normally would be able to,
There
right?
we go. I went back
Yeah,
to the tutorial area. Believe it or not, you can actually miss an area in the tutorial. I actually did not go through the tutorial.
you like skipped it.
I skipped it. I didn't even know there was a tutorial in the game. It started showing me different things after I got out of the tutorial area, but there's a straight up actual tutorial that you can just not even see.
I mean,
And
I guess
I
that's good, but
totally
also
didn't.
bad.
It's
Yeah.
good and bad. But yeah, that exploration thing that you were talking about, and this is why I haven't been watching too many streams, is because I don't want to be spoiled on all the stuff that's just in the world. But at the same time, I'm so curious, like, oh, what else is out there? Because I've ran into some crazy things, and I think what's really cool that keeps me going is like I keep telling myself every time I find something, whether it be an enemy or a boss or just a new area, or it's like, what's that? Like I've asked that so many times. What's that? Huh?
Hmm.
Huh? Oh, that's pretty cool. And I think that's the beauty of this of this game. And I will say that the side characters, like the little characters sprinkled throughout the world, are actually, you know what? They're okay with me. I like the dialogue. I like
They're
the sense.
okay. Yeah.
They're okay. They're okay with me. They're well voiced. Um, but yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I'm gonna probably play it well until the end of the game.
You're gonna like stream the whole thing? Like you're gonna stick to Elden Ring until you're done it?
I'm kind of curious if I can do that because I'm not sure. I've spent like 30 minutes on one boss at one point, and it's like,
Yeah.
is it okay to kind of do that with chat?
It depends. I think like it depends on chat really, because they don't mind you like being on this boss for an hour. Then that's fine. That's kind of the Souls experience, right? So people come
Yeah.
to watch you play a Souls game, and they know that this is a Souls game. They can probably just be like, okay, you're gonna be on here for an hour, and that's to be
And
expected.
that's to be expected. Yeah. And so what I've found myself doing is doing a little bit of off when I'm offline, I'll find a boss maybe like this dragon, and it's like, okay, you know what? I'll do this on stream, but we'll also kind of explore some places and do a little other, a little bit of here, some mini dungeons, and then this will be like, okay, I'll come back and see if we can actually, fight this and finish it. Um, but yeah, you can see right here this boss. There's no frame rate issues. He does do some weird glitchy things. I'm not gonna lie. He teleported one time, not sure how.
Okay.
He just
Yeah.
teleported from another part of the screen and he was gone. I was like, where are you at?
They'll probably fix the frame rate issues, or hopefully at least like in a couple of patches here. I would guess the reason why console versions don't see this hitching is probably because console versions are just locked at 60 frames.
Right, right.
And then you're just locked at 60 frames, or as close to 60 as possible, so you don't really notice the hitching. But on PC, when hardware varies, like if you have a very powerful card, you push more frames,
Yeah.
so you notice those drops like way more, right?
Yeah, yeah. Especially
Um,
when you have a better graphics card. I have a 3070, and I'm like, okay, it should be pretty good.
that's
It,
fine for Elden Ring, yeah.
yeah, and honestly, we were kind of talking about the whole 12 gigabytes of
Yeah, of
RAM
RAM.
needed. That I don't know if they just got that wrong, but it never feels like that. OBS is running. In fact, at first I was running OBS with the preview window off to save some memory. Now I just have it on. It doesn't
Oh,
affect
right,
anything.
okay.
It's
Yeah.
running at maximum or ultra, whatever the settings are.
Oh, for graphics, really?
For graphics, yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
don't know
wow.
what
Okay.
12 gigs they're talking about, but honestly, it doesn't really matter. And for that, because I tried turning it all the way down to low, and that frame rate issue at the beginning of the game was still there. So
Yeah, it's probably some kind of texture streaming problem. I don't know.
yeah, more than likely. Hopefully they'll fix it. I know they did issue a patch for the consoles day one to fix some issues that they were having with that. Um, but yeah, so I'll definitely check in again next week. And if you're listening, of course, listening, watching, whatever, let us know what you think about the game. If you're playing it, if you're going to continue playing it to the end, and maybe some of your favorite encounters, like what do you loved about the game. So, yeah, the Elden Ring, it's finally here, and had way too many people streaming it.
Yeah, I mean, that's to be expected, right?
Seven
Big game.
hundred and 77,000 viewers
That's a lot.
at one point, and I was like, "Geez, okay,
Good
that's
job. Good job, Ben and
good
Namco. Now
job, Ben and Namco."
you can work on Digimon Survive. By the way, apparently Digimon Survive like changed development teams.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
That's
that was just
why
like
it took
some
forever?
news. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it didn't get like canceled, but they
Yeah,
like
it never got
changed
canceled. It just,
they changed teams. So
huh?
I don't know when the game's coming out. If you're a Digimon fan and you're like waiting for Digimon whatever, I mean, this is probably painful, but yeah.
How long has it been now? It's been a while,
Well,
hasn't it?
it was announced in 2019. Was so Digimon Survive and Tales of Arise, I believe, were announced in the same year.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and then Tales of Arise got delayed until 2021, and Survive is still, missing.
Wow. Well, may its soul continue to, I don't know, do something. We'll get it one day. We'll get it one day. But one thing we are getting, and I think you know more about this than me, was the NieR Automata. Or was it a NieR? It was just a NieR fifth anniversary event. It wasn't a NieR
Well, it was
Automata event.
specifically the NieR Automata fifth anniversary, right? Because
Okay.
it's 5 years since Automata came out. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What good came out of that?
It was like a live stream. It was like an hour and a half live stream or something. It was so damn long. Like the first hour of it was just like NieR is 5 years old. Let's take a look at NieR, and it's like I don't know, man. I tuned out for most of it. I tuned out for most of it. It's
Did
like
they have did they at least do like a concert or something like some
no,
no?
it was just like a oh my god, it was just like a bunch of dudes, like the producer and the composer, not random dudes obviously, but like
Oh, kind of like the round table. No, it's not a round table, but it's like a couple dudes sitting in front and
up just
essentially
talking, yeah, just
yeah,
talking, yeah,
yeah,
and
because
they're
this
like
team they talk a bunch of crap about each other, so
and
I
they're
assume that's what they were
like
doing.
so here's when the game came out. Here's how many we sold. This is when the soundtrack came out. This is when we did the stage play. Here's when we did the other version of the game, the Become as Gods edition on Xbox. I'm like, oh my god, I don't give a shit. Anyway, so that was like an hour, and
Some
then
marketing
finally,
PR.
yeah, and then they eventually got to some announcements because they teased it in the description of the YouTube stream. They were just like, yeah, it was it. It was like the near fifth anniversary, like what is it, like looking back recollection. And then it's like we might have some announcements. Wink, wink. I mean, okay, well, I'm here obviously for the announcements.
Yeah,
So
stay tuned to the end.
yeah. So the announcements they kind of trickled some stuff in there throughout the presentation, but most like the first big one was there's going to be a collab event with Babylon's Fall.
Oh, the
Yeah,
game.
because Babylon's Fall is Platinum, right? Developing
Yep,
it, same
yep.
team that did Automata. So when Babylon's Fall comes out or close to launch or whatever, it's going to be a near the Automata crossover event. I think you can get some costumes that look like some of the NieR characters. I think there's like also like a couple bosses from the NieR universe, right? So if you were
Okay.
into Babylon's Fall and you're like, I love NieR, then this is perfect for you, really. So that was one of the announcements. One of the other ones was just some simple shit like, go to Shibuya, we have a pop-up shop. Look what you can buy. I'm all right, cool. Um, so goods, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've got the
And
live stream up, but I don't want to put it on stream just because I don't know. I don't know if we're in the graces of Square Enix. They might.
oh, I don't
The,
know. Maybe I don't know.
I don't
But
know.
finally, at the very end, and I'm talking like the end of this, like an hour and a half later, I was at the dinner
The
table. I
end.
brought
The
my
end.
iPad. I brought my iPad to the dinner table because like, um, my girlfriend was like, "What are you doing with your iPad?" I'm like, "There's a near stream. There might be some announcements." I'm like, "Okay." So I just brought my iPad, kept the stream going, eating dinner, right? And finally, I get to the last thing, and it looks like um the this teaser that shows up with the two pods talking to each other,
Uh
right?
huh.
One of the two pods, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. And it's in I watched it in Japanese. I don't know if there was an English version of this trailer, but it was like something about like, oh, like this is safe to talk, like, oh, we should use encryption, blah blah blah. I'm like, ooh, what's this? And then like, oh, some secret stuff. And then it shows some character art of 2B, and I'm like, what could this possibly be? Like, I don't know. This is a sequel,
It's
like
a
with 2B.
sequel.
And then it just shows like NieR Automata animation project. I'm like, okay, cool. All right, all right.
There we go. I remember seeing the news and I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool. You know, Nier is getting, or NieR Automata specifically is getting an anime adaptation. I mean, the actual trailer for this is not much of anything. Of course, like you said,
Yeah,
it
that's
is a
the same
teaser.
one that they showed in the presentation. Yeah.
I believe they do have an English version of it because I saw the English one. The Japanese one is on screen, but yeah, it's just some concept art. They haven't even said who is doing it. I went to the website.
Aniplex. It's on
It
Aniplex.
well, Aniplex is like publishing, but like who's the actual studio?
Oh,
Like,
doesn't Aniplex do their own anime? Like, doesn't Aniplex do their own stuff?
I don't think Aniplex has like. I don't think so. I'm trying to
Aniplex
think. They
did
they
like,
usually get like, so Aniplex does Fate, but they get UFO
Ufotable.
tape Ufotable like does that for them. They also do Kimetsu no Yaiba, Demon Slayer, but
Oh,
UFO
it's
Table
not
does.
actually Aniplex. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, I don't know. Maybe UFO Table's doing this. I call them you. You know what?
Is it Ufotable? I actually don't know how to
I
pronounce
don't
it.
know.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a weird one, but I mean that's cool. I mean I'm wondering how they're gonna tell the story, because like you told me, you know, there's, and I still need to finish it.
Okay. Okay. Here's the thing, because I actually want to. Like, did you? How many playthroughs of NieR did you do?
No, I still need to finish B through E.
So you've
I'm
only done A.
I'm
You
pretty
don't.
much
You haven't.
almost done with B. I got
Oh, okay.
sidetracked because I started doing all of the side quests.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
those side quests in that game are so good. So good.
Mm.
So I think the last one I did was getting flowers for a meal.
Oh, right.
I think that
So
was
I
the
was
last one I did.
thinking like, okay, I was thinking like, I was like, oh, I don't really need to watch the anime because I've already played through the game. Like, why would I want to like have this retold again? But then I was like,
Hmm.
then again, this is NieR we're talking about. I wouldn't
There's
be surprised
probably
if like,
something
yeah,
different
something
with it.
has
Yeah.
changed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And they're definitely, it's not something that they'll tell us, obviously.
yeah, yeah,
But
it would be like a surprise, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if like halfway through the anime, it's just one-to-one following the game, like exactly.
hmm, hmm.
And then it just like derails after that. It's just like going in a different direction. I'm like, it's like I actually wouldn't be that surprised because NieR franchise, that's a thing that NieR does. Like if you played NieR games,
Yeah.
the two NieR games, I guess, that's what they do. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, even the
yeah,
the stage play, all that's canon in its own way, and
yeah.
so there's all that sort of thing. So I mean, it's gonna be pretty interesting. I don't know if there was a date per se on
Yeah, I don't
when
know,
it's
man.
coming out potentially. I mean, we can assume next year should be safe, right?
Like next spring or something.
Next spring or
Yeah,
something.
they never announce anime that's like 2 years out, right? They don't usually do that,
Yeah,
right?
I haven't seen one that's 2 years out, but definitely a year away is what I think is like the normal. So that's gonna be kind of fun to look forward to. But another thing that's fun to look forward to, and I didn't actually even know that this was happening, but you brought up that the Persona 25th anniversary,
Yeah, so it's like 25 years since Persona debuted
dude.
on
All the
the
series are
PlayStation, right?
25.
Yeah, weird, huh?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, so this is 25th like anniversary, so they've been teasing like stuff all year, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like this is for me this is mostly miss. So they were teasing something today. They're like we're going to announce something in February. They never said when in February, and obviously it's the last day of February, so by default it had to be today.
It had to be today. It had to be
So if you
today.
guys are following this news, I mean, some of you guys might have known that like they're doing something for the 20th anniversary of Persona. Here's what it is. There is a tourist town, I guess.
Yay.
Yeah. There's a tourist town in Saitama, north of Tokyo, called Tokorozawa, which is just like that's pretty much what it is, like a tourist town, right?
Right, right.
So for the Persona 25th anniversary, they just announced they're doing a collab event with Tokorozawa Sakura Town, and it's just like I don't even know how to man. It's like a hotel collab.
It's one of those hotel collabs which are very popular in Japan, and it's gonna
Yeah, so Kingdom Hearts. There was one in Disneyland for Kingdom Hearts, which was
sold out,
cool.
which is cool.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they
They give
sell
you a little
out.
Keyblade key. Your room is decked out in Kingdom Hearts, kind of like stuff.
They're really nice if you can get
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, I bet you the idea of a anime slash game hotel collab is completely foreign to anyone outside of Japan, right?
It probably is. Let's
It's like
get,
a
let's
weird,
get
it's
real.
weird, right? It's weird. You got to book a room. You got to be like, I'm going to stay in this hotel tonight. It's like, why are you coming from out of town? No, I live in the city. I just want to sleep in this bed surrounded by
Right.
anime merch.
It,
So, yeah.
I've got a picture on screen. They haven't, of course, it's not like decorated yet, but they are nice hotel rooms.
They're nice
like,
hotel rooms.
They are
yeah.
nice hotel rooms, but let's face it, it's expensive, and you may or may not even get in. It's kind of
Yeah,
sad. I wish more people
it's
could get in.
You probably won't be able to get in. But no, that's a collab room. I guess that's a foreign concept, truly. But yeah, you basically book a hotel, like you just book a hotel that would normally otherwise be a normal hotel. And they just change the room, they decorate it. They'll give you some cool cool, I don't know, like the Kingdom Hearts keyblade kind of key. That was kind of cool, right? But that's it. You just stay at this hotel. You just spend an evening in a hotel room, and that's people stay they're not from outside of Tokyo. They live in Tokyo, but they'll still go to Disneyland and stay in the Disneyland hotel, sleep in a Kingdom Hearts bed or whatever, right? So
I mean, it looks like this is going to be going on from the
for a while, for a couple of months, 2 months.
Actually, Golden
Almost 2
Week.
months.
Is this Golden Week? No. It's a
That's
month
after
after.
Golden Week.
It's a month after Golden Week. So May 28th through July 10th.
And then there's some other collab with like I think of the bookstore I saw and.
That
I think that's
artwork
it.
is hot, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no,
There's
it's
artwork.
cool. It's cool
There's
art
artwork of all the protagonists. It looks hot. Yo,
yeah,
man.
looks good. Looks good.
That
looks good. Yeah.
that is some art that you shell out the $200 something for to hang up on a wall or something, or at least
I
get
would
like
wanna
that, or at least get that.
put that on a wall.
Yeah,
You know what? I'm gonna look. If they sell that as like a wall scroll
they
or
have to
something,
be.
like,
They
I'm
have to be
buying it.
selling
It looks
this.
good.
They have to
It
be
looks
selling this.
really-
At least
it looks good.
some like canvas art of it, like like a $30 to $50 version that you can hang on your wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, because
You know what?
that's
If
too
they
cool.
sell that, if they sell that in some form, I'm buying that. It looks really cool.
eBay that, well, not eBay, but was it Mericari?
Mericari?
Yeah, the English one. There are America. It is in English too.
What's it called in English? Is it Mercar or something like Mary?
Macari
Oh,
or something.
That's
It's
what it is. Yeah.
yeah. And because when I went home, I saw commercials for it again, and I was like, this is so strange because it's so
pretty fucked up.
so
Yeah.
strange.
That's like when I went. That's when I go home. I go home and I see Puchos, but it's spelled out in English characters, and I'm like, that's weird. Well, that's weird.
right. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't think that's how it works, but I guess so. But I mean, like, so they are doing this, and it looks like, of course, you'll be able to get a couple more goods that they'll be selling.
Yeah,
in
but here's the
different
thing.
areas.
Here's who it benefits. It benefits Persona fans in Japan. That's really it.
I mean, they have to be doing something for foreign fans, right? I mean,
Like
because
what? If you were expecting a video game, no, nothing. They didn't announce anything. No games, no remasters, no remakes, nothing. No DLC.
so when do you think we get the next Persona then? And there is one thing I'm really curious about is the next Persona going to be a PlayStation exclusive as well?
Probably, yeah.
I'm wondering where that's going to. I'm wondering where that's going to. I'm wondering where
Persona
it's
6
going
is
to.
probably like so far out, man. It's probably not coming for
Really?
years. Yeah, probably.
Really? Why? Like I feel like, dude, P5 was how long ago? Even with like the recent stuff, it's still
Yeah, actually, now that you mention it, actually, that's a good point. P5.
P5. I think I was still working.
5 years. 5 years. Yeah, 5
Yeah,
years.
I was at my other job or something
Yeah,
at
P5
that
was
time.
5 years. Oh my god, 5 years. Oh my god.
Right?
Holy
It has
shit.
to be. It has to be time for the next one. I mean, but what's cool is if they want to take their time, that's fine. I don't think anyone's like, give me that next Persona right now. We have a lot of crazy games.
P4 was 2008 and P5 was 2016. That
Yeah,
was
yeah,
8 years, right?
yeah.
That's 8 years. That's an 8 year gap. So obviously, we still have 3 more years to go until it's like eclipse the gap between 4 and 5. So
Wow.
we could still be in a couple of years out until we see P6.
Hopefully, it's
Yeah.
sooner than later. I know
But
for
no,
the
yeah, if
fans.
you're expecting like some hot like collection, like remaster or Persona 1, 2, 3 bundle or something,
That has to
no,
be coming. That has to be
it's
coming. There
yeah,
has to be I feel like a Steam version that's going to be coming soon.
like of
Sooner
what
than
of five
of
or
1, 2, 3. Actually, that's a good question. Do you think that they would do a Steam version for 5 first, or would they just do 1, 2, and 3? Because we've got 4, and we've got. Oh, never mind. That's a completely different game. Shin Megami. I mean, same thing but different.
it
Anyways.
depends if it depends on like Sony, I think, because I don't know, like I don't know if Sony has some secret like exclusivity agreement with P5. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um, and then also depends on like how easy is it to port like these old games, PSP games essentially to the PC. So
that is very true. I mean, well, I would say that they did do. No, they did not do. Well, they did P4.
well, P4 Golden, yeah, it was a
Golden
Vita port.
was a V.
Yeah,
Oh, it was from the Vita version, not the PS2 version. Okay,
right, it was a Vita
okay,
port. If they wanted to do like a 1, 2, 3 collection, it would be, I presume they
it's
would be
like
using the PSP remakes of 1 and 2.
right, right.
And then when it comes to 3, you have a couple options here. You could do, or there's two options. You could do the PS2 version, or you could do the PSP version.
Hmm.
So it depends on like what is easier to remaster or port. I mean, there are PS2 remasters that exist. FF12, for example, right? Dot hack, right?
There is. Yep. Dot hack too. Yep.
What else? I'm sure there's a bunch of other PS2 like
There's
remasters that exist on modern consoles. But
somewhere.
the point is that you can do a PS2 port. It just depends on like what's easier.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they'd rather do that if Sony has some kind of like chokehold on P5, or yeah, I don't know,
Just
right?
something. Who knows? I guess we'll find out when the next one comes out if it's just like a straight up PlayStation. Maybe I think PlayStation has at least been letting people do stuff on PC now. So, but it's like Epic Games PC. But they have, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It'll be kind of interesting. But another game or another huge thing that was announced. A couple of things that happened. Pokemon Day was real. I mean, it's not like it was not real. It's this
Yeah, I know it's a
this
fictional day. No, yeah, that never
this
happened.
this is also another series that is 26 years old now. I told you they're all
26, yeah.
I told you they're all like
Yeah,
25 or something now, except for Mario and Zelda, who are I think 35 or
30,
something. Yeah,
35 at this point,
with
yeah.
Sonic, those oldies, those oldies.
Sonic
But
is like 30, isn't it? I don't think Sonic's 35.
he's probably. I mean, he's old for his short self. He's old.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
He's old.
Oh no, I'm getting results for the
You,
movie for some reason.
I thought you were about to get something else. Like, oh, good. You might want to turn that safe surf search.
91. 91 was Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good year. Great year. Great wine.
So just a little over 30, yeah.
But yeah, so we had Pokemon Day, which had a bunch of
Sure.
news. Overall, they went through all their
A bunch
different.
of news, but we only give a shit about one thing. Yeah.
Okay. We're okay. Well, so Alola and Pokemon are gonna come to Pokemon Go. No one gives a crap.
Right.
Someone does probably. Arceus is getting some new.
Like a patch.
A
It's not even
patch.
DLC. It's like
It's
a
like-
patch.
and like
it's
you
like a some
It was
extra
funny.
content. I think it's like a quest. It's like a couple extra quests, and really that's it.
Dude,
yeah.
it was kind of funny. I was like, okay, and it's like, oh, and you get 30 gigaton balls and ultra balls and jet balls.
Oh, I gotta
was
claim
like,
that shit actually. Shit,
Yeah,
I gotta
go ahead and claim
that.
it.
Yeah,
Get your-
I gotta
get your-
claim
get
that
your
shit.
stuff.
Yeah, it's
Um,
better than crafting them. So yeah.
and apparently they're doing like an anime series for the or an online anime series for Arceus as well. Look at that. Look at that. Arceus is on fire, but no one cares because the real deal. Do you care about Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet?
Yeah. No, yeah, it's probably the biggest.
Or do
news
you
there,
care
yeah.
about the starters of Pokemon?
No, for me it's Pokemon Cafe Remix is the hot news.
Oh,
from
you
that.
know they did
Yeah.
a reveal like that. I mean that was not a reveal, but that they did an update for that. And there's also some Pokemon Unite content Hoopa,
they're adding a new Pokemon, and
yo,
you
Hoopa
can
is
play as the Victini, I think. Yeah.
Hoopa's kind of crazy in that game.
Oh no, Hoopa for is Hoopa's for Unite, and Victini's for Pokemon Cafe. Right.
Okay,
Okay.
that makes more sense. There we go.
Anyways, let's talk about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which is the biggest Pokemon news. Did
Yeah.
you watch the review? Did you watch the trailer or what?
I skipped that trailer.
You
The live
skipped
action, the live action part, the live action part. I skipped
Oh,
the
you
live
just
action
skipped
part
to
because
the gameplay part of it.
yeah, I skipped it because like let's face it, who wanted to watch this dude go up elevate? Like I was like, what is this crap? What is this crap? I don't care. I don't care if he's in the Game Freak offices or what. I'm just like, what is this crap? Like,
Yeah, I gotta say, Game Freak has some nice offices. You know.
I guess yeah, they do. Where is their office? So there's the Roppongi. I've seen them in Roppongi, like in that building.
Oh, Game Freak is Roppongi?
But I don't know if that's like Game Freak or the Pokemon Company because I've seen them in a couple places. That was probably the Pokemon Company in Roppongi Hills. It was a long time ago. They could even like
their
moved.
headquarters is in Kanda.
Oh really, Kanda?
Yeah, it's in Kanda.
Oh, they're not that far from Akihabara and all those other fun places. That's cool.
Yeah.
Jeez. Well, anyways, I'm gonna skip ahead of this trailer because exactly. I ain't got time to see this dude do this. But yeah, so Pokemon Scarlet and I keep wanting to say Pokemon Scarlet and Nexus, but Violet.
Scarlet
and Nexus.
That's funny.
It looks like so. The first thing that I saw was Arceus engine.
Yeah, it does. You know,
garbage,
yeah, I gotta
garbage,
see, yeah, it does,
garbage taste.
It does look like Arceus a lot.
Oh, but correct me if I'm wrong. Did Sword and Sun and Moon, not Sword and Moon, but Sword and Shield look better than Arceus? I'm just
it's subjective, but
or is it like near the same? I just want to know if it's just like hardware limit capabilities and it actually isn't really that bad if you go back and look at Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu or something like that, you know?
Okay. Yeah, no. Obviously this is subjective, but I gotta say Sword and Shield looks better than Arceus in terms of just like graphical fidelity. Sword and Shield looks better than Arceus. And going backwards, I would say Let's Go Eevee Pikachu look better than Sword and Shield. And I don't know why. I think it just has to do with like probably limitations. Like they have to like I really don't know. I don't work in Game Freak. I don't work in game development. I don't know why
it's open world. It's open world. It's all the rage. That's why.
You think that's what it is, but
maybe
maybe it's just like a resource limitation thing. Like you got to choose one. Like do you want it to look really good or do you want it to like be open world? And the argument people throw at you immediately will be like, because this has been going on for ever since Arceus was announced. Like, oh, why does Breath of the Wild look so much better and that's open world? Like, well, I don't know. It's probably because they're doing different things. I don't really know. Maybe it's not popular by Pokemon. I don't know. That's what it has to do. Yeah,
maybe. I don't think there's a lot of stuff in Breath of the Wild. Correct me if I'm wrong. And the art direction is very much different. I mean, it just looks like a painting, kind of, you know.
It's also art direction also has to do with it, right? And so what are we talking about? Arceus. Anyways, so the game. If you immediately when the trailer opens up, my initial impression was just like this looks like Pokemon Arceus. A lot of the open world parts of Arceus, where the Pokemon are free roaming, right? These big kind of open areas. You can see this in the first shot where they kind of show that just the big lake and like kind of the marshlandy looking area with all the Pokemon roaming. That looks a lot like Arceus. And then when they pull into the town and they show this big ass town with NPCs walking around with Pokemon just like chilling out in the town, that's when I was just like, oh, this looks like an open world game with like big open towns. Maybe there's minimal loading areas between the two towns, possibly. But this looks like it's going to be a pretty, I want to say, healthy change for the franchise to go towards this more open direction.
Right. And I think that's what has, like, honestly, I was watching a lot of comments on the video and people were pretty happy. I think a lot of people were more excited just because of, or two things, like where is this taking place, of obviously like in the real world, which country is it in, you know, what region. And I think they did confirm it's Spain, correct?
I don't know if they confirmed it's Spain, but heavily hinted to be Spain based on the names of the Pokemon and just how it looks.
It looks.
Pretty much probably Spain.
And people were excited about it being open world. I think a lot of people kind of skipped over the fact that they didn't skip over the fact that Arceus is open world as well. But it's more like, hey, this is like Arceus maybe was a little bit smaller, and maybe this is like the full size game.
Yeah, actually, so Arceus, I don't, Arceus isn't
It's not. It's not
completely
a
open
small.
world.
Oh, okay.
Well, no,
Okay.
I mean the areas are big. There's a ton of areas to explore. I don't think Arceus is open world per se. Arceus is hub world. It's kind of like Monster Hunter, actually.
Oh, okay. So you go back to the hub town, and then you
You go
go.
back to your hub town, you pick up your quest, and then you just embark and you choose an area to go to. And then if you want
Okay.
to change areas, if you want to change areas, you have to go back to the hub town before you embark out to a new
Oh,
area.
okay.
So
Okay.
Arceus isn't really open world. It's hub towny, kind of like Monster Hunter. Um, so, but this though, I'm hoping this will be legit open. Like you don't have to go back to a hub town. I'd be kind of sad if there's only like one major
If like
hub or
this
two
is
hubs or
only
something.
the
Yeah.
that would be really really sad because that's a missed opportunity. But then again, they're also working with whatever hardware limitations that they do have. Maybe Nintendo will release an expansion pack for the Switch.
Like an add-on CPU rendered. Yeah, I don't know. Um,
Um, but overall,
but
yeah.
yeah, it looks good. I think I'm fairly positive on what I've seen so far, which is 30 seconds of it essentially. I remember us watching the review with my girlfriend live when it was the premiere. For the first like 20 seconds, we thought it could have been an Arceus expansion.
Which would make
Just because like
sense.
yeah, just because like looked like it, but then they showed the town, and then I'm like, oh no, this is probably a new game, and then they showed the protagonist, these kids, and I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
that's
That's
modern
a
times.
it's modern time. So
Yeah.
I mean, like honestly, I don't know if anyone has Pokemon fatigue. I think you can only get it. I think you can only get Pokemon fatigue if you're a real Pokemon fan, in sense that you've been playing every one of their releases, and I mean like all the mobile things included. That's the only way I think you could kind of see it being a little bit because you had Arceus this year,
Hmm.
Pokemon Unite last year, towards the end of last year or
You
middle of
Unite?
last year. Yeah, Unite. Yeah,
Yeah,
Unite was
Unite is
middle
a bit
last
of a
year.
different. Unite is different though, because Unite is just like a
Hey man,
perpetual ongoing game, right?
hey, I'm talking about these hardcore fans who are in the cafe mixing up Pokemon too
Well,
at the
there
same.
was also Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, right? Last
Yeah,
year.
that was last year too. I mean, I
Yeah.
think we're at the point where I thought to myself at one point like, hey, you know what? I respect what what Game Freak and Pokemon Company what they're doing because not all of these games are the same, right? They're not just making the Pokemon game, but they're at least like different genres.
They're like they're using the franchise to do weird stuff. Like
Yeah,
the like Unite is pretty unique, right?
right, right. But I think now we're getting to the point where I don't know, like, because we were asking ourselves, is Arceus going to be a or the Legends, like Pokemon Legends, is that a new franchise potentially going forward? But at the same time, like, if all the new Pokemon are going to have like kind of this open world aspect, is there is that the reason maybe why they're like, hey, you know what? Let's keep these kind of dumb and simple graphics wise. They run, they look good, they work. But now we can do like the Legend series and we can do the mainline series, and they're very congruent with each other. Um,
Hmm.
like I
Yeah,
don't know, it's a lot to deal with because they're almost yearly now.
it is yearly basically. They do
Yeah.
yearly releases, right? I think so. When Arceus came out like last month, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
played it. I was like, is Legends going to be setting itself apart based on how open it is and the battle system? Which it's not like typical Pokemon battle system if you've seen it or played it, right?
Right. Right.
I was like, maybe this kind of battle system is exclusive to Legends. But obviously we haven't played Scarlet or Violet. We're not time travelers, but I can ask myself this in like a year from now. If they carry over any of the aspects over from Arceus, like the open worldness, right? How Pokemon are just in the field, you can chuck Pokeballs will like willy nilly at like wild Pokemon because that's really fun. I like that from Arceus.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if the battle system is kind of how it was in Arceus, where you can just like throw a Pokeball out and now you're suddenly in a battle and you can I don't know like run away by withdrawing your Pokemon and like just piecing out, right?
Piecing out. Yeah. Yeah.
That kind of makes Legends and the mainline games like a little tighter, right?
Right. Right.
If that happens, I think they would need to differentiate Legends by strictly keeping to the name, the subtitle Legends. It has to be all in the past, I think. I
Right.
think any Legends game at this point has to be like strictly in the history, the lore of Pokemon.
Of
So it would
lore
be like
Pokemon.
Yeah, anything that's like a couple hundred years ago or whatever. So I don't know if I talked about this on the podcast, but I certainly talked about this on one of my streams, um, where the RCS takes place in the past Sinnoh, and there's
Hmm.
other like regions. Like obviously each Pokemon gen has its own regions and its own like lore. So in Gen 2, this could be like before the burnt tower was a thing, like when like before the tower burnt down. XY had like this 1,000 year war like 1,000 years ago. Um, Black and White has like a bunch of relics as well. So they can probably like tap into all of that backstory in the Legends series, right?
Yeah, I mean, if they decide to go that route, like you said, that's eight. That's eight games, or not 8 games completely, but that's more than one region. So there's like at least what,
Right.
three,
So
four
Legends is all
regions.
like, yeah, backstory, and then like going forward with Gen 9, this Scarlet Violet being Gen 9. If they choose to incorporate any of the mechanics from RCS, then this is just the new direction for Pokemon going forward.
Yeah, and this is coming out later this year, worldwide, 2022.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly. Maybe a year from the Brilliant Diamond and Pearl remakes.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah,
It's always November. So I think when Sword and Shield came out and Ultra Moon, Ultra Sun, Sun Moon. What did I say? Ultra Moon? Sorry, Ultra Sun.
Ultra Moon sounds
Oh, they're
cool.
both Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Yeah, like they. I think those are always like in November of the year, end of the month, right? End of the year,
Right,
rather. So
right, right. But I think
yeah.
with every new Pokemon, there's always the starters, and forgive me for butchering these children's names. I'm probably gonna, I probably will end up accidentally
Oh yeah.
butchering their names. Actually, do you know their names?
I looked at them today. The grass one is like
Let me see if I can
give me
find them
a
really quickly.
the
I
grass
know
one is Sprigatito. Sprigatito.
Sprigatito,
The fire
Sprigatito.
is Fuecoco, and the duck is Quaxley.
It's Quaxley, yeah. I honestly like Quaxley. Dude got a Mario hat on or something. I don't know, a
He's got
Wario
some kind of
hat.
hat on. That's a hat, I think, right?
It's a hat. I hope it's a hat, please. You know what? No, that is not a hat. That is part of its head.
You think?
Look at the like little hair thing that comes up out of it. That is part of
The
it.
stupid duck and like the fired alligator thing. Like, why does he look like an apple? Why is this?
Coco.
Why his eyes also his snout? I don't
Yeah, I
understand.
don't like his eyes and his snout being the same. That also attached to this like one
To
fang.
his yeah,
Like,
to
how
a
does he eat
tooth.
properly? I don't think his teeth work right. Like, I
I'm staring at this. The more I stare at it, the more questions I have. Like, why does he have one eye? It's basically like a unit eye, which is like combined with his snout. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
it's a weird one. I mean,
The most
Sprigato.
normal thing is the leaf cat.
She
That's
looks
like the
so. She look. I'm calling it a she. I don't know. It looks adorable. Like, I'm like, oh, that's cute. But I see on the internet, everyone's like, this better not be walking on 2 legs at the end of
Yeah, I
this.
know. You remember the oh my god, like
Everyone's like,
the sun moon starters? Yeah.
these
It's like
better
fire
not be.
cat. Yeah, more like fire wrestler. You look at his
Oh
belt.
gosh, I really don't like. Oh gosh, he's okay. I like, he looks adorable at the beginning, and even his second form is like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
But
Litten. Like Litten looks cute. Litten is cool. Like I was actually this close to picking a Litten when Sun Moon came out. And then I saw that it evolves into a
a
fire
weird looking
wrestler, and
wrestler.
I'm like, no,
Why? Why? So
nah.
so like I have no clue what any of these are gonna look like. I mean, maybe Fuecoco is gonna look kind of cool at the end. Maybe he'll be a
I'm
cool
waiting for the stupid.
crocodile.
I'm waiting for this. Like, I gotta see. I was this close to picking Litten, and then I saw the final evolutions. I'm like, you know what? Rowlet. Rowlet out of the way. I'm Rowlet now. Like, yeah.
Oh man, I'm for listeners, go ahead and leave us anchor voicemail or just on our Twitter feed, whatever. Just let us know who you like here, because I am gonna say that I am a like the little like the homegirl. She looks
You can do the cat.
the cat looks cute, but there's something so derpy about Fuecoco that I can't stop saying I would do a few. I'm fine with Fuecoco. I'm fine with
Okay.
this
I think
derpy
just
idiot.
just based. I know it looks pretty bad.
It was
Just based on the first starters, I would still maybe pick fire alligator just because I like fire types.
mm-hmm.
Just based on like how they look now, but I need to wait until I see the final evolutions for me to pull the trigger on one of those starters because I backed out of Litten. I was like, no, I can't do it.
Well, I think that they did release like did they release the bios? I think they released
They
the
did,
bios
yeah,
for
yeah, they
them.
did, yeah, yeah, yeah.
It doesn't really say much, but it does say like their personality types. Apparently, the duck is like neat and tidy.
Yeah, that's not really me.
Quaxley's neat and tidy. Fuecoco's like laid back or something, and then um, first I have to pronounce its name properly. I feel bad.
Sprigatito,
Sprigatito
the capricious,
is
attention-seeking grass cat Pokemon.
that makes you not want to just like nah you. I don't have time to babysit you. I don't have time.
But Fuecoco, the laid-back fire croc Pokemon that does things that's me. Like that's pretty much me.
Yeah, see,
I could do that.
we are all a little bit of Fuecoco.
Yeah, I mean, I could do Fuecoco, but like I said, I gotta wait, man. I gotta wait till what they evolve into. I'm so afraid. Oh God, no! Like I was talking about the starters today, and I'm like, and I'm sure other people on the internet share the same sentiment as me. It's just like I want to go back to the old Gen 1, 2, and 3 final evolutions. Like, give me just a simple fire dragon. Give me like a earth turtle.
I think what you
Yeah.
want is for them to stop making more Pokemon games.
No, I mean like I want like these older
No,
designs.
you,
Like
they can't make
su-
older designs. They're gonna. It's like retreading the same territory. Then
I
they
guess,
they have to keep
yeah.
being inventive. They have to
I
be
guess,
inventive
but,
now.
like to me, that's like fine because a lot of people on the internet are just like, I don't want this to be a humanoid. I don't want this to be bipedal. Like I don't want them to be weird. And like, take a look at Charizard and even like Blaziken, right? They look
Yeah.
really like they look way more animalistic. And then look at stupid what's his name in English? Cinderace, the final evolution from
Cinderace is
Yeah,
cool.
he's a soccer player. He has
He's cool.
he's a soccer.
I only like Cinderace because he's pretty cool in Pokemon Unite. But I mean, yeah,
Look at him. Like, look at him. Like, look at him.
I know what he looks like. Yes, he plays soccer, and oddly enough, like he literally is dribbling a flaming soccer ball.
Yeah, he's like
Like,
dribbling like a fire
I,
thing.
I
Yeah.
think it's the fact that you don't understand how they went from A to B. Okay, that made sense. What happened at C? Like, did this Pokemon have like a life crisis and found itself? Is like I want to be I want to play
soccer
soccer.
player.
Like this dude never had a ball in any other form. Does he have a ball in any form?
No, one of his attacks,
Exactly.
his trademark attack in Pokemon Sword and Shield is he'll like he'll like find a pebble and he'll kick it. He'll juggle the pebble a bit, and then it turns into a fireball and he'll kick it at you.
Oh well, at least
It looks cool, but
at least he had a little bit of a hint there. But outside of that, everyone's like, "Bro, why are you doing that?" Why? I mean, look. Hopefully, they'll be normal.
but yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
If they haven't made paper clips yet, you're good. That's when you know
Uh,
it's gone too far.
I wonder when we're not gonna see final evolutions until probably like October. I'm
So
guessing,
close to
right?
the
Yeah, and they might leak a little earlier, but that's really important to me. Also, can I just say I hate how the protagonist looks. They look like literal children, which they are.
Oh
All
no,
of
they
them,
are.
all-
They are.
Yeah,
But these look.
yeah.
Hold up. Well, no, keep talking about them. I'm gonna see if I can find some pictures again.
Yeah, so basically all the Pokemon protagonists are basically 10 or I think they're 14 maybe in black, or maybe they're 17 in black and white. It doesn't matter, but they're basically anywhere between the ages of 10 and like 17. All the protagonists, right?
Right. Right.
The protagonists for Scarlet Violet, they look like the actual children. They look like they have backpacks and they wear they look like Japanese school children. They really look like Japanese school children. And I just like I don't want to play as kids. Like I don't want yeah.
You know what? I know where I saw this, but Ehe had a friend of the show. Ehe had a great tweet when because he thought it was in Indonesia because of the uniforms.
Yeah, they look like
And
the kids' uniforms, yeah.
they did. I'm still trying to find a picture of them, but um, yeah. I mean, hey,
They just look like oh my god, I don't know. I mean look at the character designs for all the other gens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, even 7, 8. And then
oh
compare
wait,
them
here it is. Here it is. You know what these actually look like more than anything else? They look like the crap. What do you want to call these? The Pokemon television show. They look like they look like kids off the Pokemon TV show.
Yeah, no, someone told me on Discord they're like the protagonists look like the the random NPCs that will challenge you with four Rattatas.
They do.
They look like the
They
shitty
do.
kids that'll be like fight
I've,
my team of Rattatas. Like
like
that's
I've got them on screen, and I mean,
yeah.
like, yeah, they're cute or whatever, but they are. I would say for whatever reason, even though they're all like the same age wise, like you stated, these guys look like maybe it's because they look too real in some
They
odd
look
way.
like
They're
it's
really
the
young.
uniform. They look like normal
And
like kids. Yeah.
oh no, it's because we actually see this too. We actually see this when we like see the kids walking to school and they have their hands up sometimes. But
Yeah, they
some
just
of them
look
have
like
that hat.
normal kids. They look
Yeah.
like normal kids. But here's what: like, go look up the protagonist designs for any gen, from Gen 3, Gen 4, Gen 5.
I think they all just have like some swag
Yeah.
to them. They have some. They have.
Yeah, yeah,
They have
yeah,
like a little
yeah.
bit more personality. These are some just kids, man. These some.
They're just like normal ass kids. Like, god damn it. Like,
These are some kids. I mean, but and in that sense, they look so young that I don't feel like for me, if I'm like I'm gonna go play a Pokemon game, I don't feel like I'm the target demographic for this.
yeah, they look so young. Oh my
This
god.
actually looks like something I would give to a kindergartner to elementary school kids, not middle school. These aren't even middle school looking kids. They
I
might
know
barely
because
be, but these
here's
are
why
elementary
they look.
kids.
It's because the shirt's tucked in. They have the backpack. It's that stupid hat. Like,
It's that hat. Oh, it's very proper. Their ties are a little bit too short. Why are their ties so short?
yeah, it's just everything. It's and the shirt pocket and everything. It's the design. It's completely everything.
You know what? If you put a
Yeah.
bip on the guy, he would look
He look
almost like a baby.
He look like a
Yeah,
baby,
yeah. It kind of look. Oh, let's leave these kids alone. Let's not make fun of these children. They didn't have any say or choice over their designs.
Anyways, that's Pokemon.
That's Pokemon. In closing news, we're gonna brush over the last things before we end the show. Tokyo Game Show is coming back this year and in person, September 15th to the 18th. That's going to be very interesting. I guess. Hey, they're like, hey, everything's gonna be done, world safe. But they also have the virtual reality area, which was cool last year. I got to say that was really nice. I thought that was a nice little touch. If you couldn't go to the event, you kind of walk around the booths. It was cool. But this year's theme is to show the real spirit of games.
What's that?
I don't know. And the mission is to create hope and beyond.
Okay, that's making sense, but sure.
That's I'm reading this I'm reading this from gamesindustry.biz. But yeah, that's I mean I don't know. It's online, offline, both things are happening.
Yeah, are you excited? Are you gonna go? Are you gonna try to go to TGS this year because it's in person? I mean, I think you went like last year, but are you gonna want to go? Because if it's back in person, we're back to like booths and stuff.
That'd be cool. Honestly, like the booths for last year were nice. There weren't anything crazy. Monster Hunter had a full Palico, not Palico, but wait, is that what the dogs are called? Palicos? No,
The dogs?
dogs are called off. Man, I forgot the dogs' names, but they had a life-size one there that you could ride, like get on top of, which was cool.
Like not like ride around the convention
Yeah, you
center,
couldn't ride it
yeah.
right on the convention. That would have been hype.
Yeah, yeah.
Bandai Namco had some little nightmares cosplayers that were there all day. Bless their hearts, but they
Yeah.
did a great job. Had a nice little set, but it would be nice to have a bigger scale because you probably could have fitted in like 2 apartment complexes. I don't know, it was small.
Okay, yeah.
It was
I'm
small.
curious this year. I mean, because if they're they're going back to in-person event in the fall this year. I wonder just how big it's gonna be. Because back when TGS was in full force, like the last time they were in full force, it was
Mhm.
like it was like 3 halls technically, right? Technically 3 halls.
Yeah, technically.
Technically 3 halls, yeah. Just packed with booths. Obviously, you had your gigantic ones, Square Enix, Capcom. Those guys are just really big. And then you just have your smaller studios. So you have a bunch of indie studios show up. Some are just as tiny as booths. You have what are they called? Like game
Oh,
schools?
the schools. The schools were
Yeah.
there this year or last
Okay.
year. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it was like 4. It was like three or 4 schools, right? And like compared to usually they have a lot more there.
I remember 2019 when Docomo was there to pimp 5G.
We all know where that
Uh,
got us.
I was like, what are you doing here, Docomo?
5G.
Like, what are you doing, Docomo? Like, the last thing I think about when I go connect to a 5G network is gaming. Like,
And it was because I remember that they had like the Docomo girls there advertising like 5G, but then like, what was it like right across from them was it Alienware? What was it? Was like a
it was
PC maker.
Samsung. It was
It was
Samsung.
Samsung, yeah, doing like hard drives or something.
Yeah, and I'm like,
And
I actually,
that was the
I don't
front.
know.
That was the front. Like when you walked in for
It was
TGS,
Docomo and
that
Samsung.
in
Yeah,
Samsung,
and they were big booths too. They're big booths.
very big boost, very
Yeah, and then
big.
Samsung is just like, look at our NVMEs, and I'm like, oh, all right.
I was actually thinking about getting an NVMe, or
Yeah,
NVMe.
but they
There we
weren't
go.
like selling them there. They're just like, look at
No,
them. Like, oh,
no.
yeah,
I looked online today and it's like, oh yeah, these are like super cheap
they're
now.
cheap. They're
Like
cheap now. They're
it was
cheap
like
now. Yeah,
$50.
yeah.
Is that
You could
right?
get
50 bucks for like 300 gigs or some crazy? I'm like,
yeah. If you don't have one, you should go buy one. I mean, they're cheap. They're cheap enough that you can,
yeah,
yeah.
it's cheap enough. I'll probably get that and maybe like redo my RAM.
Redo your RAM? What do you mean? Like get more RAM?
I don't know, get more RAM. I don't know. I have 16 gigs, but I don't think it's worth getting 32 because I don't think your system even uses 32 and it doesn't really
It depends
like
on what you're doing per se, but yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Most
Yeah.
workloads won't. But if you are doing video rendering and if you're doing some crazy shit in OBS, then yeah, you could possibly use more than 16.
Oh man, and then last but not least, closing out on the news, the Dice Awards happened. It Takes Two also won there,
Yeah, good
so
job. It
good
takes
job
two.
to It Takes
Yeah.
Two. This is an award show that's done by game developers for game developers, pretty much. So it's I think a lot of the awards they got
It's
were
like the
pretty.
fancier, yeah, it's not like Game Awards. It's more like legitimately like you did a good job kind of thing, right?
Yeah, yeah,
It's less hype
by
machine. Yeah.
less hype machines. There's no trailer reveals or anything like
Oh,
that.
it's just yeah.
It's just hey, you did it. So a lot of stuff that came out of it. Ratchet and Clank winning a couple awards for art direction, animation. Lady Dimitritsu winning overall outstanding achievement in character in
Like
Villager.
literally outstanding. She's very tall. Very, very tall
She's
character.
she's
Yeah.
outstanding.
Very
Returnal
outstanding. Yeah.
with music and audio design, which was great. Achievement in story for Guardians of the Galaxy. I think that's spot on. Ratchet and Clank a game for technical achievement. Halo Infinite for action game of the year, because
Mhm.
that game went open world too.
Yep.
Look at all these open world games. Adventure game, Guardians of the Galaxy. Family game of the year, Ratchet and Clank. Fighting game, Guilty Gear Strive. I think
Drive.
the other nominations were Melty Blood, and there was something else that no one cared about actually. Uh,
Okay.
Racing, Forza 5, role playing game of the year, Endwalker. I don't think anyone can deny the
Did any other
crazy
RPGs
year.
come out like last year?
There had to be something else in this category. There
Yeah, why?
probably
I mean, I'm not saying Endwalker 14 rather is a bad game. I'm just like, really? And nothing else came out?
kind of want to like I kind of want to like look and see what are the other nominees. Deathloop with game direction and I'm not gonna read over the rest of them, but Unpacking. I think you played Unpacking recently.
I did play Unpacking. I streamed it. Yeah,
Best indie game. So there we go.
it was good. It was pretty chill. Good soundtrack, nice pixel art, kind of therapeutic.
That's all we need. That's all we need in life. Therapeutic, therapeutic stuff.
Therapy.
Therapy.
Yeah.
We need therapy. Therapy.
Yep. Oh
Well,
yeah, Arise came out last year. That's a game
oh,
that came
that
out.
was probably in there. That was probably definitely in there. Would kind of be kind of weird, like having an MMORPG compared to an RP, like just
Yeah, to me, like I'm not
I
saying
don't know if
14 is a bad
that's.
game or anything. It's just like an MMO, an expansion rather of an MMO. Just
Mhm.
like, well, to even experience that story, you have to play through a couple hundred hours, and then you get to go to that new content. And then, like, even then, like your experience is dependent on like other people. Like,
Other people.
what if your server, what if your entire server is an asshole to you? That doesn't make the game fun. You know what I mean?
No, it
So
doesn't. It makes it horribly horrible. It makes it horrible. It's like going into Apex and having trolls. Oh, that's exactly what it is. I am on the RPG category. I'll let you know what was nominated really quickly. It looks like it was yeah, Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous, Shin Megami Tensei 5, Tales of
oh, that been a
Arise,
win?
and
Damn.
Wilder. I've heard people talk about this, but Wild Myth. It's
Uh-huh.
a
Okay.
tabletop game basically. Um, all
That's
great,
it.
all
Okay.
great expansions in here, all great things. So yeah, I'm surprised Tails didn't get. Tails was or Shin Megami, but Tails, I think they put a lot of work in. I feel like Tails.
Tails is an achievement if you just compare it from the last Tails game.
From
It's a
the other
huge ass
Tails
jump.
games, right,
It's a
right.
huge ass jump. Yeah.
So
I would say, well, if I think about it a little objectively, yeah, Tales of Arise basically got caught up to modern RPGs, so that's good. But
there we go.
I guess it maybe wasn't enough to win Game of the Year. I guess, yeah, for 14.
Congrats,
I
on
need
the
to play more
nominees.
14. I gotta play more
Winners.
14. Yeah.
They restarted the trial again. The 60
Yeah,
day play is.
I should just play, yeah.
Have you heard of Final Fantasy 14, the award winning whatever?
Yeah, I just knock on someone's door and yeah.
Sell them and tell them the gospel of Final Fantasy 14. Yes. Anyways, that's gonna do it for us this week. Fun episode, I gotta say. Alex, do you have anything you want to do in closing or say?
Nope, I don't know. I had that cheeseburger, by the way, the KFC double, like the KFC chicken fillet that's covered in cheese.
I
had that. I don't know.
tried to get the King Yeti, but Uber doesn't have it. So
No way.
I have to walk to Burger King. I do like a 30-minute walk.
You have like
and
2
walk
more days.
30
You have
minutes.
you have like 3 more days to get it done.
I was looking at different points and times of the day, but it's just not on the Uber Eats menu. I don't know why
Oh.
exactly. Like maybe
It was on the menu for me when I was checking my Uber Eats,
Really?
so. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
maybe I have
I
to
would
look at a
check
certain
the
time.
afternoon. So tomorrow, like tomorrow afternoon, around 2 o'clock or something, check your phone and see if you can order it.
Is it possible for me to
Tap
order
into where
online?
my Uber Eats is.
Oh no
Uh,
But like, does Burger King have like an online order
I don't think so.
through their website? Okay.
I don't
So
think
yeah,
so.
I'll check at 2 o'clock because I've never checked that too. So maybe that's
Yeah,
a
because it's also
special
supposed to be like limited per day. So it might have just sold out for you at that time.
thing. Everyone's getting fat.
Yeah, but I got the KFC double cheeseburger, monstrosity or whatever. It was just like holy shit. It was like covered in cheese.
Too
Yeah.
much cheese. Too much cheese. But yeah, definitely follow Alex on Twitch.
Yeah, we'll play games and stuff tomorrow. Yeah, it's
We'll
324.
play games. We'll play games. You should have like a jingle for that. And then you can follow me on Twitch, NinjaTrixta. Playing more Elden Ring, probably do a little bit of writing, and going back to AI Somnium Files on Wednesday. So Wednesday, Fridays, back to AI Somnium Files, Saturday, Sunday on Elden Ring. So we'll be chilling right there. And next week, we're going to talk about how, I don't know, really, I got nothing else.
Okay.
Yeah. You set the tone. Go play some games. Stay safe. And if you need to talk to anybody, this is actually real. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now, but if you need to talk to someone about it, go talk to somebody in a good way. I'm not saying this in like some horrible thing, but just like, it's good to talk to each other about things and comfort each other where we need comforting.
Yeah.
All right, we're gone.
All right.
See ya, everybody.